and these webinar series, this is the first one that we're having. We're going to be holding these monthly. The next one up is in the room. I saw him join Mr. John Scipio. I may introduce you at the very end, but for right now, it'll be myself and David Pannell, who has got just a great success story with our data and has been working this niche, what, David, for better part of what, 20 years?
Working probate,
Yeah,
off and on since 2014, but
since
buying data,
2014. Okay,
actually buying data probably the last 5 years,
5 years. Cool.
and then completely leveraging into, I mean, most 99% of my business now is something to do with probate or title issues. So I
Ah,
think that's just the natural flow of working these type of contexts.
cool. Love it. Love it.
Yep.
Love it. All right. So next screen. There we go. So the U.S. Probate Lead team. My name is Jeff Sweet. I am the National Sales Director for the company. Leon McKenzie, who's also in this meeting, is the founder and CEO. Mike is not available, but he is Leon's son. He is chief operating. Miss Laura Martin. She is operations extraordinaire. She will be fielding any questions throughout this presentation. I would like to be done in about 45 minutes. So, respect everybody's time on a Friday, right? If you can stay throughout the whole duration, we will have a Q&A at the end as well, and we'll be fielding questions along the way. But another introduction is Z. Z is operations as well, but he is instrumental in getting this whole thing together. Again, Z, hats off to you, my friend. Thank you for getting all of my slides put together, getting the email marketing out there. Some of you guys have probably been getting emails from us for months. We thank you for not up for continuing to subscribe with us. And I noticed some old customers, new people coming in. So we appreciate everybody's time this morning with this presentation. So meet David Pannell. David, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Dave Pannell. Was in the Marine Corps, a police officer, and then got into real estate. Was always in real estate because of my mom. She always remodeled homes or did something in real estate. Either she flipped her homestead property or sold something on the side. And when I got out of the military, she pulled me into 2 flips. We made a total of $5,000 on. I was so excited about. I probably made that amount in the Marine Corps, so that was pretty exciting.
Well,
But
thank you for your service, first of all, David. Thank
yeah,
you. Appreciate
it. I started off selling new homes through I was actually applying to go to the Secret Service. I was going to take a job in New York City or New York State and guard the Clintons.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I was in the last week of being hired, and then I got my real estate license.
Wow.
And I started selling houses for my brother. We sold new homes I did that for 3 years, just brand new homes until the economy crashed in 10. And got into foreclosures, short sales, got real good at those. I thought I was good at them. We did about 60 sales. My mom did the admin work, I did the sales, and made some awful YouTube videos to attract business. But it leaned into, I got extremely away from being a buyer's agent really early on in my career. Either hiring coaches or going through the cycle of foreclosures and short sales, where my business just became those type of listings. But along the road, I found these probate deals. And my very first house I bought in probate was for $15,000 in Haltom City. I wish I would have kept that house. Now it would have been worth $200,000. But it got me thinking about the real estate. I didn't know probate was a thing. And then I got another mobile home. I helped the lady through the title issues. We bought a mobile home with 7 acres of land. It was all flooded property. You could tell that it was always flooding. but we bought it for 39,000. I sold to an investor for 55. So I made $11,000 on that. And my average commission at the time was $3,500. So it just makes you think, is like, dang, man, I could, instead of being a luxury broker or a mid-luxury broker or a listing agent that only goes after ready to live in houses, there's an opportunity here. And that was about 2013 or 14. And then obviously you start looking into, there was no training really online of probate. There's a few companies doing YouTube videos. So you just learn as you go and you buy data or you do your research. So that brings me to today that I completely focus on probate now. If
You don't get any other kind of data then, David? Just our
no,
public records?
just your records.
Nice. Good to know.
Yeah. I mean, I've switched over the years to different companies, tried different things, but it's just, I've been with you, what, a year now? Completely.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been subscribing with us for over a year now, I think.
Yeah. And you're not gonna, I hate to say this on y'all's first call, but you're probably not gonna hit it out of the ballpark. In a year, I've closed probably 60. I did 44 last year in 2024, and we've closed 16 this year, and I have 9 under contract that are actually probate deals.
Nice.
Then I have a list
like
of
25 for the year then total.
Yeah, but I have a list of 48 people that I'm talking to that are in the process of getting letters and testamentary.
Right.
So it's just, I'm on track to hit 60 deals this year. And most of those leads are generated by my letters. I'm not
You don't
getting
have anybody actually doing any phone calls then, right, David?
I do make phone calls, yes.
Oh, you do as well. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as they call in, they're added to my CRM and I'll follow up with them. But
a
I
call,
do
but you're not doing any cold outreach though.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do also cold outreach. Okay.
I think when you see how I divide the leads up in the data,
Yeah.
Obviously, once you start looking at the data close enough, you'll notice that most of your PRs that are out of the area probably need more help than a local PR,
right,
or a spouse that lost somebody in the house. So
right. And you have different. Please correct me if I'm wrong, David. You actually have different letter templates.
Yeah.
That are specific to an out-of-state PR, an in-state PR, somebody where the spouse is still living in the house.
Yep.
You have separate letters that go out, correct?
Yeah, because you're going to have a different conversation because they're in a different mindset of their timeline, the amount of need or help, and what they plan to do with the house. I know if someone passes away and the descendant address is the same as the PR's address, they're probably not going to sell that property because that's their primary residence or homestead for at least 2 years.
Right.
So as a broker, I'm going to send letters every 6 months to them, but I send them links to my website so they sign up for home valuations.
There you go.
And then it becomes a different lead.
Okay.
Or help in affidavits to transfer the title or do tax.
So
or like now,
you've been doing this a little while, David. What is your take on the timeline for when somebody files to when they actually are ready and able to sell the property? What are you finding in your world?
Man, it's all over the board, but right now it's about 205 days from my data.
205 days.
Yeah.
I've been telling people 4 to 6 months.
Yep.
Is about the time frame. So is that kind of lines up with kind of what you're saying?
Yes, but you don't want to wait 4 to 6 months to contact them at all.
No, just the opposite.
You want to be the first to try to get a hold of them, so that you do want to prospect them or call them. Don't be afraid to call them. The ones are going to hang up on you. We hang up on spam calls all the time. I do. I click the button and just hang up on people all the time. But the ones that want to talk to you, they will become your best friend, and they will become your best clients ever.
Well, and I own a call center, so I mean I have people, American callers, actually doing the calls, and you've got to be a good conversational person to actually connect with these folks and one of the things that I always, when I do my webinar presentations, I emphasize if you are going to be
All right,
making.
let me call the agent.
Hey, I was just going to suggest everyone mute
Please,
so
yeah.
we can
I
hear
thought I
Jeff
told him the
and
well guy was gonna be
David
out there and
converse. Jeff, do you have
the lady
control over
freaked
that?
out.
Yeah, let me.
No.
Well, I was gonna say, if you have questions and stuff.
All right, I think that took care of it.
No.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, please, people, we are in a pretty big room. And you're not auto muted, so if you could please mute yourselves, we would greatly appreciate that. So wait, stop sharing. Okay, there we are. All right, David. So we were talking about the I was mentioning phone calls. So one of the things that I know about this type of industry is when you do a cold call. This is something I kind of coach and train to potential customers. Is don't
Well,
me
it's
personally,
connected
I
to
would say don't
you
mention probate
because it's your
in the
app.
first 10 seconds of the phone call. You want to be able to have let them tell the
But
story.
you can also send them your website
Essentially.
link as well.
So
Jeff, we can't hear you because there's still people talking over you.
yeah, let me.
Hey Jeff, can you make me co-host and I can go through it?
I'm not sure if that's ability here. Let me stop sharing my screen here for just a moment. I'll reshare my screen here in a minute, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah,
If you could
anybody.
just mute yourself.
Yeah.
then-
Anybody that's in the room, please, if you're talking, please mute yourselves. We would greatly appreciate that. I'm not sure if there's a mute all, but anyway. All right, so David, let's just continue what we're doing here. Let me go on to the next screen here. I think we're green light go and clear. This is a big room, guys. We have over 100 people in here, so we'd appreciate everybody's being able to have everybody else be able to take part of this. So with that being said, next one. Okay, so what are we going to be covering today? So first of all, intro into this company, the probate opportunity. We've been talking with David. We've got the letter templates, the blueprints for success that David will be sharing with us. And anybody who makes a purchase in the coming days and weeks will get access to those templates. Now, if you don't want to purchase data from us, we'll have an option of actually purchasing them online. David, how many templates we got? We got like maybe 7.
Yeah, something like that. It's just the
Yeah,
first 7 that I send out. Yep.
right. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we're going to be covering today. And David's going to be, I would like David to do the lion's share. I talk a lot with my presentations, but David, as you can attest, why U.S. probate leads, right? So what made you choose our company, David, and what keeps you returning from?
The Excel sheet doesn't change. Thanks, Laura.
Right.
You know, I've got a system where I immediately upload them to an Excel sheet that organizes my leads in the way that I need to work them. So every other company, it just seems like the columns are always different. And that just, for me, it takes an hour or two, maybe a day out of my rhythm that I
Right.
don't need to take to organize so I like that. It's just consistent. Thank you,
Good.
Laura.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so-
It's pricey too. I don't mind the price because, and publicly say it is because you're accountable. You got to be accountable to something. And
David,
like I was,
we have a question about, do you hand address your letters or label them?
yes, well, if you want to get into that, that's fine. I've built a system with my letters that I'm having a conversation where they're at in their lead flow, where I think there are, where ChatGPT tells me there are, where my experience tells me where they are. And so we do like a mail merger. We put their name on every letter. We send a letter to every descendant, one time to the descendant property to see if it's vacant, to get the return mail. I'm sending the PRs out of state. I'm sending the local PRs. I'm sending the same address PRs. And the ones that I reach, I send them a thank you note in the mail with a Starbucks gift card.
Wow.
So it's just
So
my
you're actually
I just
adding
want a
like,
complete circle of
Yeah.
of accountability.
you're adding that personal touch, David, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
personal touch, and that is key to this niche. I actually, when I coach and do my presentations, I always try to coach the clients to establish that local connection with the people. If you know, even if out of state, well, still establish the connection, right?
Hmm.
Know, like, and trust. They know you, they like you, they trust you. When they are ready to sell, folks, they will use you to either list the property or accept the cash offers. Now,
Well,
David,
they're only calling Jeff. They're only calling 2 to 3 people. So
right,
if you're one of the, they're going to call their favorite choice. They're going to call. I hate to say the word fool. They're going to call 2 people to test and see if their favorite choice is making and being honest.
right.
Okay, and that's going to be another realtor. That's going to be a friend of a family member, or an investor. They're going to get at least 2 to 3 people, maybe 4.
Right.
They're going to have they're going to have 10 conversations, but they're only going to invite 2 to 3 people to the house.
Got it.
So if you're their favorite choice, you're going to get picked, and you're going to get that deal, either a listing or a purchase.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, somebody, I see the question in the chat, Laura. So David, how many, you're getting about 1,000, 1,200
Yeah,
records?
I like to get about 1,000 records
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah, basically David gets the entire Dallas Fort Worth area. He expanded his counties about what, David, 6 months ago? Something like
Yeah,
that.
I think.
Yeah,
And I should have done it
added some of
earlier.
the outer counties of Dallas Fort Worth to the mix. Um, so yeah, he's getting about 1,000 records. And what was the other part of that question, Laura?
How many letters in a campaign are you sending, and what does a single campaign of probate leads look like? So I know you're going to touch on that as we go forward.
Yeah. For like the out of state PRs, I'm sending 3 letters within 45 days of getting the data. I'm actually sending 4 letters, one to the descendant address to get the vacant mailer back, because that's going to be on a short list to prospect. And then I'm sending 3 letters every 15 days. And then if they don't respond, I move them to a non-responsive list where they get a letter every 30 days after that until they tell me to take them off the list. I'm mailing close to 6,000 or 7,000 letters a month. It's ridiculous. I know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to taper it down a little bit, but
And we have a question from Tom, and Tommy says, "I'm a realtor looking to sell homes versus investing." Yes, David is also a real estate broker, correct, David?
yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's valuable in this space.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
so you have the best of both worlds. You can help them with a cash offer, or you can help them because it's in supreme condition. They're ready to list when they talk to you. So you can help them
Yeah,
list the
it's a come list me if we can't buy it. We do buy and remodel houses and do assignments.
Of course.
I found that usually 75% of people, they don't know that they want to hire a realtor. I'll say that. They don't know until you present the comps to them. And we have 3 ways we sell a house. We buy it, we sell it like an auction per se, traffic based approach.
Yeah.
And then we'll work on repairs. I don't do novations, but I do suggest. I used to give people money to remodel their houses, get them ready. I stopped that back in 2018. But we'll help someone get it ready for retail if it's close. If it's a
Okay.
newer house or no large repairs needed.
So this niche, this is one of the slides that we've got. Generational wealth transfer, folks. It's the baby boomer generations. There's, I mean, a ton of wealth that is getting transferred from the one generation to another. I'm at the tail end of the baby boomer generation myself, and so as these baby boomers pass on to their heirs, real estate obviously is the biggest asset. in any state, unless they own like $1 million boats or, somebody's talking here.
I don't know where that's coming
I don't
from.
know either. Okay, well, anyway, next slide. All right, so David's been kind of talking about the PR a little bit. They're the ones that are in charge of the estate, decisions on selling property, selling off the assets, making the connections with all the additional heirs, right? That's your key contact. And that our magic as a company, right, is with getting the PR's information. We get their names, addresses, we get their phone numbers, email addresses. We get about 90% range of the phones and roughly 70% range of an email as well.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty accurate too from y'all's point.
thank you.
Yeah,
If you
and,
guys want me to jump in to show you what I
Yes.
do, that'd be great too. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you, I just stopped sharing my screen, David.
okay.
I'm gonna let you have the reins. To if you wherever you want to do me a favor, David? That video that you sent to me yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a very strong video. If you've got just hit share screen, you've got the ability to do it.
Okay. Well, let's see here.
so this is going to be a video that Dave sent to us, one of his testimonials.
Yeah.
Very
Let
cute,
me
very
try to.
something encouraging. And then Dave, once we finish this, a lot of the listeners would love for you to kind of walk them through your process again. How if you handwrite,
Yeah.
how many calls, and maybe we can touch on all of that just real quick.
It's based on the conversation that from experience, from just talking to PRs where they're at. I try to in my letters, I try to influence them to know my name, know my brand, and to be aware that I'm in the market for them if they need help. So when I do send a text message, or I do make a phone call, or if I send an email, or they see me on social media, that it's a full circle. So, with your data, it's very easy. Don't go out and pay an ad company to take this data and charge you to run expensive ads on Facebook or Google. You could take this and retarget all that information and stay in front of these people. And if say it's a spouse or same address, they're not going to sell a house for 2 years. So that gives you 2 years for them to sign up on your website for a home valuation if you're a realtor, and then keep them in your social circles per se by auto targeting them, retargeting them. That's just one way of doing it. On other calls, I get this question all the time. What would I do if I started over today, or if I was starting? There's a lot of people starting in probate. The thing I suggest is immediately just buying the data. I put that off for a long time, not to sell U.S. probate, but just having a accountability partner. Your accountability partner is your leads and your data and that credit card charge per month.
Oh yeah.
It makes you build a business around this because it is expensive. So, and you want to think about sending letters to influence them to call you. You want to I don't send a whole lot of text messages, but I do text the PRs out of state, out of area. If they're a PR and they come back to my website, it's automatic, or it's automated where it sends them a text if they're looking at their home value or looking at a market report. With Sierra Interactive, the CRM I use, you have the ability to send market reports, and I could send a market report within a mile range of that property, and it just gets better and better as they interact with the website.
Thank you.
So, but very simply though, if you're starting and you want to know, let's see, someone asked about mail, just your PRs out of area. You want to try to get in touch as soon as you possibly can if you're buying data. We send 3 letters. Let's see here. This is an ebook I'm writing too that I don't mind sharing with y'all. It's about converting in using mail, but let's see, I'll show you my system real quick.
David, not to interrupt you, just a quick question. I know that you help them in a lot of different ways, whether you buy the property, whether you list the property. What is your main goal? Like if you had your, your own choice, do you prefer to buy all of these before you list them? Like what's your main focus?
I just prefer to make money with every contact that comes in.
Okay.
So
Good
Yeah, so
question,
so
John.
so either list it or buy it, doesn't really matter to you.
no,
Trying to take, get as many
I
as you
don't
can.
want, as a broker, no house is worth my license. So I don't want to go in and always offer just to pay cash for it because obviously they're taking a discount. And in probate, you're going to have the largest margin of discount, most likely.
Hmm.
And if you're one of the 2 or 3 people they bring in, if you're in real estate, you have an opportunity to show or share with them what exactly you're going to do to remodel the house so they don't think you're a low baller. You could share all the comps with them. If they don't want it, if you always want to go for no on the offer. So if it's $100,000 house at ARV, say you offer $50,000 and they don't take it, at least you have a no. And then you can go
Right.
back with another offer and list it at 75%. You know,
Right.
it's just an advantage of if you're in this echo chamber, I guess, of buying probate data, you want to monetize every appointment you get, but you
Yeah.
definitely don't want to take advantage of somebody. I don't hate the word that take advantage, but most people have a motivation to get rid of the property and it's paid off.
Right.
So based on the trash in the house or the belongings in the property, it's just the effort that you're gonna put to
Right.
go after it.
Yeah, because I've learned, and I think this is helpful for other people who are maybe just getting into this. And I'm an agent as well, an agent and an investor. And I've learned if you go into it as an agent, and I'd like to hear your take on this too, David, is like I think you have to go into it as an investor first, like you said in the example you gave.
Yeah.
Maybe make an offer, and if it doesn't work out, then you could say, well, if you're looking for more or higher amount, maybe I can help you list it. But
Yeah,
it's hard to be the realtor first, then
it
the
is.
investor.
That's a
Can't
very
go
good
that.
point. I try not to, even though, and we send 3 brands out for our letters. So the biggest thing for me is I send out 3 different people on my letters. I have me, the Marine, police officer, realtor, my wife. Some people like calling a female a woman. I'd say very pretty woman. And then we have a corporate brand that's just cash out. So wherever they're calling from, you definitely don't want to push because they'll take a $40,000 loss on a property to get rid of it, but they don't want to pay 6% commission. It's crazy.
100%. Yep.
It's nuts.
Interesting take.
But
Thanks.
you want to be very careful. I don't want to lose. I don't want anybody questioning. And it's a private appointment with the seller, but I don't want anybody questioning my integrity after a deal or before a deal. I'll bring every sold comp in the last year to them, and then we'll go over a remodel list on the house that for me to resell a house as a broker, I want to get permits. I want to do it correctly. So those are extra expenses that I could just add on the expense sheet. Other than some other people that I just went and saw a house today or the other day. I'm actually helping a buyer. I told you I don't work any buyers, but I got a buddy looking for a house, and the electric panel was not updated. They painted the house, they put lipstick on the house, they just didn't update anything with the AC, water heater, electrical. It's a nightmare. Off topic there, but
All right, David, can you want to share that video?
oh yes, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
No, you're
if you
good. You're good.
I don't know if you could hear the audio, so just subscribe to my channel. That's not it. It's a video of the
There it
Pauls.
is.
We just closed with them. You can't hear the audio with Zoom, right? Or can you hear it?
No, guess not. I will send off. It's a really great story, guys. And David, you may get a bunch of subscribers by the end of the weekend. That's
That's good.
What I'm gonna do, my friend, is I'm gonna have Z send off that video link. This is a great story, guys. This is hats off to David because he helped these folks out. It's a nice couple. I think as the story goes, they ended up getting $9,000 more. Why don't you just share the story itself? We'll send the
Yeah.
link off, but please share the story, David.
I have audio of this lady, Miss Paul. She's like, I absolutely don't want to hire a realtor. I want to just sell the house, get rid of it. I want to get rid of it in 14 days. She was very adamant. You could tell when you watch this video how direct she is.
Yeah.
I went to the property less than 21 days ago, and she loves me to death now. Her best offer was almost $100,000 less than what we got on a public sale, but even with it listed, I got her 9,000 more than what I quoted. And the only
Love it.
reason they hired me is because I told them I'd give them a certain amount, which
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous about. Because I had an open house, I had 11 people come through, and nobody made an offer for about a week. And then all of a sudden, I got 6 offers in the, 3 verbal and 4 written, and we sold it for 9,000 more than list price.
Right.
They've never hired a realtor in their life. They've had the same house since they were married. They actually were selling their sister's property that was not in probate. It was in a trust, but everything, the cars and everything, other assets were probated. So that's how we got their information.
Love it.
And she talks about getting multiple letters from me. She wasn't going to call me at first, and then she got a second letter, then a third. So I like that.
What it
It
takes
just,
sometimes.
yeah, it's just these people. This is the treasure of work in probate. Is that yes, it's very difficult. Yes, you're not going to get 100 calls in a week off your letters, but you're going to get 1 or 2, 3 that are going to be listings for you if you're a realtor, and probably 1 a week if you're sending letters to purchase.
Right.
And you may have to make 9 offers to get 1 house, but it's totally worth it. It's the
We do have some actual just traditional listing agents on this presentation today, David. Are your templates geared as well as they could emphasize and say they want to help them list the property?
look, just to cheat a little bit, you could take 10 letters and put them to the chat GPT, and then ask it to scrape your website, and you could come up with your own letters in conversation. But yeah, I mean, it's just the arc of the conversation with these people. Yeah.
Right. Totally agree. Totally agree. All right. So, yeah, this is a great story. And again, I've got the link to your channel with this exact video that everybody will get.
Okay.
Great story. You guys, if you guys would just decided to subscribe to David's channel, he wouldn't be hurt by it.
No, it'd be
He'd
good.
probably be pretty great.
Good.
So,
So just to make those videos, after they get done signing at a closing,
yeah,
I try to get everybody to do. My iPhone, it's record iPhone and earpod. I put the earpod close to them for audio. No
yeah,
special tripod or equipment, and I just ask them to say 3 things. I ask them first a negative comment if there's anything negative they experienced, so they could get that out of their system, and then I ask for 3 positive things they could talk about, and then I ask them to refer me on video, and it always works.
Dave, do you recommend making the calls yourself, or do you have a team that helps you make the calls?
I would recommend somebody that knows a little bit about probate to make the phone calls. Yes.
Okay.
If you're hiring a VA or somebody overseas, come on, they're getting 10 calls like that. There's no rapport there. I would train people to have a little bit of knowledge of probate, because when I hired a VA or hired callers, I just noticed that we never connect. We lost deals because we didn't think there was a deal or a listing there to have. It's because we didn't ask the right questions, or in probate, I just prefer to make the calls myself. It takes an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 15 hours of my week to make phone calls while I'm multitasking, doing other things.
Hmm.
95% of people are not going to answer your call. You're going to leave a voicemail. You're going to talk to 5 people out of 100, and those 5 people want to talk to you.
What would be your voicemail to them? Would you share that?
Yeah, just, hey, I'm calling about the house. I was wondering if you made a decision on the property yet. If you would, call me. I sent you a few letters in the mail. I don't know if you saw my name, Dave Pannell, but it'd be really nice to hear from you, and I'd love to help you if I can. Basic.
Great, just very simple. You
Simple,
don't really
yeah.
dive into the probate and loss situation.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I barely talk about that until they bring it up.
okay. Good suggestions. We've had a few questions regarding that. And then after your first letter, how often do you call?
It always has to have success.
Hello?
I just have them on a call list. I'm not trying to target them immediately or day one. I'm actually, my goal to call them really is to get them off my mail list. So I'll take 20 people off my mail list probably every day. So that saves me over time, probably 18 letters, 18 stamps, 18 envelopes per contact. So making the phone calls really helps me get rid of people that I've already sold, or they just don't have a property. Not everybody in probate. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% of your list are probably going to sell a piece of property. So you got to find those.
That's
You got to
kind of the
find those
number that
nuggets.
I've been, when people ask in the sales question, like how many people are we selling? It's about 20% range or 40%, somewhere along the line, are going to be selling real estate because they're in probate. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, and the houses are paid off, and they're willing to get rid of them. They got a strong motivation to sell.
Yeah, they're
So
definitely, this is, folks, a motivated seller niche.
Yep.
And David, the reason he's in this presentation today is because he's kind of already gone through the motions, have gone through years of trial and error, right? So
still every day,
pardon?
every day, just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out and change things up.
That's it. And
Yeah.
and John Scipio, thank you, John, for your comments and having that brief little convo with David. I appreciate that, man. He knows kind of the same thing. He's been with our company for quite a long time. And he knows, he's gone through the motions of some of these investors and realtors that we have in our company that have been getting data from us for years, right? It's trial and error sometimes to start out, but it works. Don't give
Yeah.
up on the sales. Don't give up on this niche. I always tell people when they first start getting data from our company, give this niche a good at least maybe 3 to 6 months, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? Because what you're going to be building that pipeline, and as David could attest, on a mailer that he sent off to this lovely couple, right? It was one that then they called him. They called him from the mailer, and don't give up. That's the bottom line,
Yeah.
and because you will find the magic, you'll find the gold. That is this niche. And the beauty part is about this niche, folks, is at the end of the day, you are helping these guys through some processes, through some trying times. And David, I'm sure you can probably attest to this. You probably have people on your cell phone that you still have connections with.
Oh yeah, I definitely stay in touch with my past. I get probably a third of my closings a year from past probate people now, because they know that I could deal with it. I mean, we've helped people all the way through. I'm helping a guy in Denton, Texas right now. He called me from a letter. His sister passed away 2 years ago in June 23. And his other sister just died in February. She has she has 4 kids that become heirs to that. The first sister had a house and some assets, so they get a little inheritance to that property. But his attorney's not really helpful because Obviously, he hasn't paid the bill to the attorney, so she's not working the probate file. So now we've actually filed a motion to cancel the probate, and I'll handle it in affidavit of heirships because it's just a real estate sale. So in 3 to 4 weeks, those are the things you'll learn in the process.
Mm.
Getting big problems solved for people that don't have money for probate too.
Now,
What
and I'm gonna reshare my screen. I've got a
Jeff,
slide.
I'll just jump in for 1 second again. I don't mean to hijack,
Yeah,
but
dude, bro, go for it, man.
it's I mean, the thing that I love about probate, and I've been probably calling probate leads for at least 10 years. First really as a realtor and more now as an investor. I mean, here's
Yeah.
the thing. If you're a realtor, these leads, first of all, at least in my market in Northern New Jersey, there's not many other agents or investors calling them. And I think a lot of people are hesitant to call probate leads because they think it's, you know, it's like an ambulance chaser. It's not the sexiest lead source because, you know, you look like you're, you know, calling somebody right after somebody has passed. And don't get me wrong, and I'm sure, you know, that's something I run into every single day. As long as you learn how to handle that objection or that issue, you know, you can get past that pretty quickly. But the big thing is these people are generally inheriting a house that obviously was not theirs. It was their aunts, it was their uncles, it was their grandparents, and a lot of times they're inheriting it from an old timer who's got no mortgage, usually. And the house is vacant. So as a realtor, you're inheriting a property that's easy to show because it's vacant. It is owned by somebody who really probably didn't even know it was coming to them. So they're not going to fight you on commissions as much as a normal seller because
That's
they've got room. And the other thing is, you know, they generally want to sell it quickly because they don't want to be the one to maintain it, whether that means landscaping, snow removal, utilities, insurance, all that stuff. So I can't say enough good things about the lead source. It's all we focus on.
Thank you.
And we've started with one county, and now I think we do, I don't even know, Jeff knows better than I do.
I think, John.
I'm in about 10 counties.
Yeah.
2 of them
That's just
I don't love because they're further away, but
Yeah. I just drove 90 minutes to one, so yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Jose Sanchez has raised
No,
his hand.
there was one question from a realtor here that said, do you have to list the property? You can't force anybody to make you their realtor. You know, I can't force anybody on this list. If I'm going to a house, I'm making an offer. It's either an offer to sell it as a broker or to buy it. But I'm going to go for the buy first if it's distressed. If
Yeah.
it's retail shape or doesn't have foundation issues, has an AC, FHA, or it qualifies for VA, I'm going to try to, depend on the condition, buy it first, make an offer, get a no, and then go for the realtor side. I don't want to walk out without monetizing every appointment because you don't get a lot of them. And the ones you do, you want to take advantage. You want take advantage for your business and benefit.
Jose, what do you got? What do you got to ask, my friend?
Yeah, so I have a question, and John bet me to it. Well, at least he touched on it a little bit. So some of you evidently makes these phone calls to, I guess, the heirs or the executors or what have you. At what point in time do you make this phone call? Do you wait a month after the death, right away, or as soon as possible? Because for me personally, it's kind of awkward or uncomfortable to call these heirs or next of kin.
It's only uncomfortable for you, not them. Remember that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that calling them a week after death is it's okay.
Don't wait at all. Just call them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You never know who you're going to meet.
yeah.
You're
You
making
just-
your story is that it's hard for you and uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Well,
Get over it.
and
Call him.
John Scipio, not to interrupt David, but I can kind of throw this out there too. And John, the next person in the webinar series, by the way, John Scipio, is going to be coming and having a presentation at the end of June. And John, you've been doing the pre-probates. Are you waiting any period of time? I mean, you're talking within 30 days, right? These pre-probates, which we have access to, by the way, folks, other types of data.
You have to have urgency. I don't even like the word wait. Don't
Yeah.
wait for anything. You know,
Right,
like
good call.
the people who are waiting are, you know, you're missing out on, you know, other investors, other agents, other people calling them. This is going to sound funny, but I've been on my way home at the end of a workday for dinner, and Laura or Jeff will send through the list of new leads, and I'll turn the car around and go back to my office and get back on the phone. I'm not even being sarcastic, because I will say, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know how to, you know, say this the right way. Sometimes these lists do have a shelf life, and they do get stale quick, because, you know, it's not that Jeff's selling them to a million people. It's just that you could go down to the courthouse and get the lead yourself. So as soon as it hits the probate record, there's a lot of people calling them. So
yeah, but they're
it's-
also, John, they're also on websites signing up for home valuations or
exactly.
sell my house fast. You
Exactly.
don't know, you know,
Yes.
But what I'm saying though is you do have to get in front of them, and I think what you guys are really pointing out today, especially David, is how to differentiate your story and how all the different ways you
Yes.
could help the person.
Correct.
But they do expire quickly, so you got to get in front of them, or at least just be the first person or one of the first few to get in front of them.
and to
Because
stay in front of them, and to stay in front of them.
front of them. Yeah.
I
But
mean, it's
it's a
important to
true
make
story.
that call.
I do make
Yeah.
those calls as fast as possible. I've been on real estate conferences in Las Vegas and gone back to my room early to make calls, because I know I just got the list. Like, it's
Yeah.
fresh, and you got to jump on it.
And the ones that I'm calling are the PRs out of area. So what? There's like 40 out of. There's maybe 15% of the list that we have to immediately jump on. That I feel that I need to immediately jump on out of 1,000 leads. So 150 calls takes me 5 hours to get through, maybe longer, a little bit longer. But so you're right, John. Yeah.
So, and as both of these gentlemen have been mentioning, I mean, having the network of people as well to help these folks out. I mean, junk removal, estate sale, right? Both of you guys have probably helped out many of a customer in those two categories alone, correct?
100%.
Yeah. So it's good.
I
It's
try
good to
to-
have that
I
network.
try to give them all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
like back in the day when I was still like, I used to do a lot of expireds and for sale by owners.
Yeah.
The way my strategy with the for sale by owners, of course, this is about probates, was just give them everything. Give them everything for free. Give them so much value that they're like, oh man, I didn't even realize I had to do
Value.
all this work.
Good word.
I'll just sign you up and have you do it. So the same thing with the probates. And I don't know what David's approach is, but I'm like, hey, here's a great, you know, I've got a great Rolodex of people. Let me know who you need. You know, that's a better way to say it than say, here's my list of people, because then if once they have your phone numbers, they won't call you. So
Yeah,
just
I'm definitely qualifying. I'm definitely qualifying the person for business or for a house to buy. I've heard plenty of stories where people just waste their time doing estate sales for people, and then they think they're the estate sale person, not the home investor.
Right.
So you definitely have to distinguish yourself, who you are, and what you want from them, and then you could help them. I don't try to, like Cynthia clarified, but if they don't know that I'm a realtor going in on an appointment, something's wrong. I mean, I'm fully disclosed. They get 18 business cards from me. They get a signature on every letter. Every text message has my name on it with broker on it. I mean, I'm not afraid to tell you who I am or what I'm doing, and I'll show them every comp. I don't care, because it's usually what gets me the deal.
So
And I would tell
David,
people too, realtors on here, like, don't think, oh, well, I'm not an investor, or I don't have the money to buy the house, you know, so I'm not even going to listen to that part of the pitch. It's go on these appointments, and if they really see, that was what the light bulb that went on for me. I used to only go as the realtor, and then I used to lose all these deals because I kept telling them, oh, all you need to do is spend a little bit of money, and then we could put the house on the market and make it look perfect. And I would lose all the ones that were in distress and that needed work.
Yes, you're a brother from another mother. Yes.
Yeah. And
It's
then
the
I was
same
like,
story everywhere. Yeah.
I was like, I'm losing all these deals. And then I met a hard money lender who would lend me a lot of money now, and I can buy all of them. But even if you're not willing to take that quote risk to buy, you all know somebody in your Rolodex who will buy these houses. So
don't forget about the attorneys either. We're talking about PRs. Every PR that I communicate with, if I get a deal with, I call their agent, their attorney, and introduce myself. I don't just blindly call attorneys. I do sponsor lunches for attorneys, but I do call the ones that I work with and have contracts with, so they know my name.
Hey, Dave, we have somebody asking if you could reshare your screen. Somebody's asking because you were sharing that spreadsheet. Can
Yeah.
you? We only got about. I want to keep this at about an hour, guys. So I want to respect everybody's time for the day. Respect
I thought you
David's
said
time.
45 minutes. I'm just kidding. There's a lot. I don't
We're
need to
late.
be at the mission. I don't need to be at the Mission Impossible movie until 4, so I'm good.
Okay, no, hey, I'm willing to stay on if everybody else is. I'll stay as long as people need this. So
Here,
yeah,
let me.
David, if you want to go through your stuff, and what I'm going to do, folks, right now is I'm going to put my calendar link in the chat. I'm going to put my toll-free number and my cell phone number. Please get with me. Anybody who subscribes or makes a purchase with our company, right? And that's why I'm going to put my stuff out there, is you guys will get access to these templates, these mailer templates. This recording will be sent to everybody who has signed up, who has attended, not attended. We're really hoping to help a lot of folks out in the real estate community with getting some extremely valuable data, getting some extremely valuable guidelines and templates and things of that nature. So everybody who makes a purchase will get access. Now, if you don't want to become a customer, we'll have them on sale for $99. There'll be a link to that. Do expect this stuff to be sent to you guys. But David, I'm gonna let you take over. I'm gonna put my links into the chat. Go for it, my friend.
Okay. So basically, I just want to forever we send out just the same letter to make an offer, either to list it or to buy the house. It was the same template. Every 90 days we'd change up the words on the template, but it was the same. I'd print 3,000 letters, the same template. Just this September, I hired a guy in the UK to code me an Excel sheet so that I could take US probate data, upload it to this Excel sheet. So I just upload the file here, and it, well, I don't have, well, you could see, it just, we take different versions of data because I have coaching members now, but let's not talk about that, but I could upload US probate data very quickly as soon as I get it from Laura, and then it organizes it in the way that I need it to send my letters to them. So I have different letter templates for out of area PRs, for the vacant properties that return mail. I blacked this out so you wouldn't. I don't care about sharing the data. It's just it's easier for if they want to put this on YouTube.
Yeah.
You won't have to blur it out. But here I could generate letters, very personable, with different placements in the letters, their name, their address, their county, who their attorney is. I even linked it to, I could see which attorney has the most probates in my market now based on all the data from a year's worth of data from US probate. I could tell who has the most files. So if I want to prospect them, which I've become really good friends with, one of the top attorneys in Dallas Fort Worth, he actually sponsored me to join the Probate Association.
Wow.
So, you're just you crack your way into their world. In April, I sponsored the biggest attorney event with 110 attorneys, not probate or state attorneys, just attorneys. They all have friends and their buddies, and we played golf for 2 days. It was great. But back to this. So I get my data and I upload it to this Excel sheet. We've designed this over the last 9 months, and I continually work on it. The next thing that I'm adding is to check the duplicates against MLS. So if a realtor lists a property and they flag it as a foreclosure or probate or some type of type, I want to upload it into here. And there's like, out of the last 2 years, there's, I think, 754 listings that hit the MLS. Every week, what I'm saying is I'm going to have a system where I could upload the duplicates, and then again, remove addresses that I want to send letters to. So
David, while you're
Just-
on that topic, can you tell us what your approach for like weeding out the nursing homes and assisted living?
All right, so you started
Oh, yeah.
talking about
And
no,
maybe
but
tell everybody that it's the last known address. It's, so sometimes it's not
Correct.
a property that's owned.
Yeah, so the descendant address is we actually get mailers back. Now how do I do it? So Dallas Fort Worth, we don't have a lot of condos and apartment buildings. So there is going to be some error here in my system, but most of the addresses I don't need to I'll block it out just for Google, but we extract everything with an apartment number or a condo number or a unit number into an assisted living sheet, like what you see here if you see the bottom. So it takes out of my main data, my main letters to PRs and moves them to assisted living because that address is their last known address,
Mhm.
but it's a facility. If you look it up, it's a senior living facility. So all my letters are addressed to the housing person that I actually call each facility and see how to correctly label them. So instead of their name, I put the community leader or the facility manager or housing authority, something like that. And I just ask for a referral. If you have a resident that needs to sell a house, I offer a finder's fee or referral to the house if I buy the house. As a realtor, you can only get $50. So I say that too in the letter.
Nice. Good
Um,
approach.
yeah. So we just upload and then I'll show you I'll show you a letter. So it automatically generates the letters as I hit the letters. And then let's see. I did vacant yesterday, but I think yeah. So I got 70 houses that turned as vacant mailers. And these are all my mailers for this week. And you can see how it's round 2, round 5, round
Wow.
6. So they're going to get a total of 12 letters from me with a vacant property. And nobody lives there. So it's just it's not going to the house anymore. It's going to the PR.
Right.
Because PR address.
Now, Mark Weinberg has asked David, are you hand addressing the letters or
Yes.
labels?
Yeah. We have 3 people that work for us that do that. They're required to do 750 letters a week to 1,000.
Nice to know.
And they hand address we use labels. We just found that the hand address works best on the outside of the envelope.
Right.
Regular size envelope. Don't get fancy.
Okay.
For the vacant mailers, I may start using a red envelope or just a colored envelope. That's the next probably change. And then hand signing all these because there's not that many. I could sign 70 letters every week pretty easy. Same with these are just the different brands. The Just Cash Out, my wife's letter, and then mine. I'll show you a letter. We had a little problem.
Is it 3 different return addresses then?
And actually, no, I need to change that. That's a good point.
I got
No,
because
it all
I
comes back
send
to
some
our
letters
office.
from
Yeah.
me as a realtor, and I send some letters from me as an investor. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, yeah, that's a good point. They all come to our office. So yeah, I mean it, and if they make the phone call, it all comes to me regardless. So, I mean, we've been on the phone. I have a recording of a lady saying, "Oh, I was going to call you next, David." It's like, yeah, because she meant to call. She called my wife first because she wanted to work with a woman. It happens.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
That's cool. All right.
But yeah, so we just designed I've always wanted a system where I could have a conversation with people where they're at in their timeline. If the PR just filed 30 days, if they just filed and we get the leads 30 days after the fact, it's a different conversation than 4 months down the road. So I want to send a letter at the 4-month mark of just making a cash offer or a very clean offer to them for the house if they're going to sell it. In the beginning, it's more realtor heavy, and then it goes into cash offer.
Jose, you raise your hand again.
Yeah, so David, I
Sorry to
noticed
be
you
so
post-
direct with you, Jose. I just
Oh, no, 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 none taken. I'm not offended with it.
good.
No.
I'm very direct. I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
that way.
You posted, you showed I guess a template or letter which I didn't get a chance to read. And and on the letter, do you mention anything about the a probate or death or it's just a generic letter?
The first, I may take it out because I really don't like mentioning it. The first paragraph I do on the first letter that I send out. So
On the
I'm
first
just trying to build up my, on the first letter I sent to the PRs, it's just who I am. I don't even think I make an offer on these letters. Yeah, at the very bottom I do. But it's a long sales letter, the first one. It's 5 pages.
Wow.
So, and then that's number 1 round, number 2. And we can't figure out why the font's different yet for Google, but they seem to make the first paragraph or the first line of the code. They want to change the font on us. But then it gets shorter. Every letter gets shorter as they receive it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody knows your name, Chip, Dave.
Chip.
He
Yeah.
said, he just said in the chat, I'd rather work with your wife too.
Yeah,
Hope
well,
all
I
is
would too.
well.
Yeah. Hey, that just tells you. I mean, it's have you ever we noticed when we went on vacation to Broken Bow last time, there was a very attractive female that was probably 22 years old that was an insurance agent. And
Mhm.
my wife's like, how can she be so wealthy to run those billboards? And she had like 25 billboards on the way to Broken Bow. I was like, Liz, she doesn't have any of those. That's a fake avatar. They just want the phone call.
How
And
you
she's
doing?
like, oh my God, we do the same thing.
Siempre tú estás hablando de pizza. Eso es señor pizza.
I don't want no pizza.
All right. So, David, I want to say thank you very, very much. John Scipione, thank you for your participation as well. Jose, anybody else that has asked questions in the chat. And so what I'm going to do is tell you about.
I like to say one thing. If anybody is interested in doing letters like I do, I don't want to bring on a lot of people, but we are looking to raise funds because we're going to eventually turn this into like a subscription thing where we take US probate data, we upload it to a website, but I'm just looking for people to want to invest with me. You're not buying it. You're always going to get the improvements as we work through it, but it's pretty pricey to come on. Almost $7,500 a range. But
What if
I've
we're in
already
your
spent.
market?
What's that?
What if we're in your market?
Well, let's just team up on referrals. The more calls, the better.
There we go.
Hey, Brett,
Hey,
I was just getting ready
they're
to
gonna
tell
call
him to
me if they
answer that.
like me. They're gonna call you if they like you. It's really. I mean, I'm getting. To be honest with you, I get what 7 or 10 calls when the mail goes out, and get probably 1-2 deals a week. I mean, it's not like I need to cut your throat to get a deal. I'm gonna continually be in this business, so if I can work with you in the market, that's great.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, what I'm going to do is pretty much let everybody know that's either live or get the recording. You'll be sent some emails and some text messages about this. So, to get started with our company, I'm going to make it so easy and simple to get started with a new subscription with our company. So, we've got a BOGO offer, folks. Whereas if you prepay for a future month, right? In this scenario, I'll use Florida as an example. I know all of Florida comes in between the 10th and the 14th of the month. So you prepay for June with whatever the pricing is for the county in Florida, right? Knowing the data is going to be coming between the 10th and the 14th of the month, you will get 2 free months of data. So how that would work would be you prepay for June, I will send you April and May, right? Then you go on my subscription model, and everybody who does make a purchase, either current or future customers, we will give you access to the templates that David is going to share with us. But you have to make the purchase. You have to be, Jane, it would depend on the county. put yourself on my calendar, and I'll gladly give you a price if you haven't been given one yet. But essentially, what would happen is every single month you'll get new data. I ask people, be with us for a few, 3, 4, 5, 6 months at least, right? We have customers, John Scipione, he's been with us for years. I've got other customers. I got another guest coming in the future, Brad Woodall. He's been with us since 2018. He's made over $1 million. I put the calendar link in the chat. I'll do it again. But essentially what I'm hoping to do is get as many people good quality data, good quality marketing strategies that's going to help their community. Yeah, you'll make some money along the way, of course. But the good thing about this niche, folks, is you guys get to help people through a process, right? They're going through possibly some trying times. And the real estate is a big part of an equation of the wealth being transferred, right? So essentially, you are there to help somebody, right? And that should give you a sense of self-worth, knowing that you're helping people, right? Through different processes. David, thank you very, very much, sir. My hat's off
Hopefully
to you,
y'all
my
got
friend.
enough information.
Yeah, I think we. Does anybody else have any questions, comments they'd like to share?
Unmute yourself. Let's talk about it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Let's involve some people.
Let's go Q&A time, guys.
Yeah, I've got a question on here, I'll put my video up so you can see me. Just like cadence and like I've actually been signed up with Probate Leads for about 6 months now. Send out a letter once a month and having a hard time getting response on that. So, just like, do you send out postcards? Do you always send out a big 5-page letter like that? Or, what kind of things you're sending out?
The response is not wildly, you're not going to get a whole lot of response. The ones you just got to convert from the people. The cadence, we did the same thing. We sent out once a month, and I always wanted a system where we just now made it active where we send out 3 brands. And I think next week's the first week I'm going to I've done it before, but just not automated like this. So we've sent out 3 brands, probably the whole 3, 4, or 5 years. But it was just a template letter, probably what you do now. But now we could address the people, make it more personable. We've got placeholders in there, so we could talk about the descendant address, like the PR at a state. We could say, hey, we work in this area of town of Dallas, Texas, or I bought a house on this street before. So we're just making it real granular of trying to tie in. Hey, we're in this neighborhood, because a lot of people want to work with somebody that lives and works in the neighborhood too. We found not just somebody foreign or across town.
Thank you.
One lady actually, I took on a listing in Dallas. I'm in Fort Worth. She said that your letter was so good that I cried when because I read it and you were so detailed about my father's house. And then we talked for about 45 days. I never met her. It was all digital. She signed the listing from what's that? Can't remember. It's near Austin, but wine country. What is wine country in Texas? Jeez.
Fredericksburg.
Yeah, Fredericksburg. She said she lives in Fredericksburg. She didn't even want to come back to her father's house because she grew up there. But she just liked my letter that I was a local guy. And then I talked about just another flip we did in the area. So it matters sometimes. So to get to your point, I don't think there's no cadence. I just think you have to be more detailed on you being local and you could help them.
There you go. Corey, you raised your hand. What do you got, my friend?
Yeah, David, I follow you on Probate Mastery as well. I watch a lot of the YouTube videos. I'm not part of Probate Mastery, but watch you there as well. So I really love what you do. My main source of business, I'm in Orlando. My main source is mail. I mainly do expireds and out of state right now. Take about 40 to 50 listings from mail. So I have a pretty extensive mail system. So I'm really intrigued by your system.
Good.
So do you do coaching on that, or is it just like you said, the $7,500 plug and play with your system? Or
We're going to start a small group because it's going to be, I've already invested 22,000 into the Excel sheet.
Yep.
I have 4 people that have paid me. So
Yep.
we're just gonna keep improving it until you're not gonna be left on your own. But I think we're gonna start a small group.
Yep.
But I want people to contact me about it that are sending letters. If you're
I
not
do, I
sending
wanna
mail
talk
and
to
then
you about-
complain that you're not sending enough mail,
no,
you
I'm
gotta
sending,
be,
no, right now
yeah.
I'm sending over 10,000 pieces a month myself for what I
Woo!
do in my business now.
You're perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could break the system for us. Yeah. I'm trying to get to 12,000, and that's 4 people stuffing envelopes. So we want to be where I see it is that in mail wise, if they're getting 50 letters, I want to be 10 of them. So I have 1/5 of a chance to get a call.
Are you going to have your information up here where I could reach out to you at?
I'm all over the internet.
Okay, I'll find you there. And then I guess another question is, do you mainly do the probate or do you use the pre-probate data?
I don't do any pre-probate because I have enough blogs and articles people want to find me.
Yeah.
I tag all my YouTube videos with pre-probate.
Yeah.
But I don't really, the only thing that what we're adding to my system is every property that's changed to an estate of in the tax records.
Right.
I don't know how the pre-probate works. If they're changing the name in the tax records from somebody in the state name, they're probably in probate or they're doing affidavit. Or if there's an affidavit filed with the county, that's probably gives you a reason to call them. But what we found is we sent letters to people that did affidavits, but they were only trying to keep the property. So it was a longer conversion.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions, comments for David or myself?
Yes, I have one.
Good deal. Douglas, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Jeff. This is Douglas. Hey Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, I remember you. Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, I get your emails.
He makes some really good videos.
Well, you guys, I'm having so much fun learning from this, but I've had some good fortune the last couple of months, so I have some money to invest, and I just want to do it wisely. So, Jeff, could you send a link so I can get that when you said you were going to put up in the link for your to become a member and learn more?
Yeah, I'll put my calendar up there again for everybody. It's just book yourself a convenient day and time on my calendar, and we can definitely talk some shop. Get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for all you've shown me, David. You've shown me quite a bit, and
it's a little advanced for a lot of people.
It's been a great presentation, David.
I know, but it's a natural progression for me. I'm very good on the phone. I'm very good at cold calling. I know that I'm good at a few things, but I need this extra touch, and it's missing from my business right now.
Yeah, you just want to. If you're going to work probate, you got to be completely. It's like a full circle of touches. So you just got to work a little bit every day on what you do. And I'm working. This is going to be my retirement. I should be able to take this silver wave all the way into 65. I'm 47 now. And if I automate it now, it's going to be 10, 12 years of really cool leads coming in. So that's what you got to think about.
Exactly right.
Love it.
Great.
ISA,
guys.
someone talked about an ISA help making calls. I just want to answer that. It's just have them make the initial call to see if the house is going to be sold.
Yep.
Don't get into getting them to have a high in-depth conversation about the probate or distressed or the title, but try to keep with the same accent of your area, I guess, what I'm saying. So
Nara, you've got your hand raised. What can we do for you?
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, David.
You're very welcome.
I'll book a call.
Hi, David.
Hey.
Hi, Jeff. I was just wondering, like, how do you time your letters? Like, what kind of system do you use, or is it just the Excel?
I'll show you that real quick so y'all can see. So we have settings in here that we've designed. So intervals, like same address if it's a spouse that had the same address, or sometimes it's a child or a mom that lived with them. So we're only sending one letter every 90 days.
Now, David, is this the template that you're showing here? This is the 20,000 creation, correct? Is that tied into a CRM as well?
No, it's just an Excel sheet. So, I mean, once they call, we'll add them to a different, CRM. So I do upload their information. I put them as new in my CRM in Sierra, but I don't, it's just it's a flow. So if they call, they become prime and I don't drop them.
So that's how your CRM kicks in, is once they connect with you.
Yeah. And I'm manually inputting. You're not getting a ton of calls. So it's very manageable.
Yeah.
And everything's recorded from my phone number. So everything is AI generated into the data field. So it's really easy. So local letters, every 15 days, they're getting a letter up to 3. Out of area, every 15 days from 0 from the probate file date. Attorneys, they're getting a letter from every 2 months. Unless I'm working with somebody, they're going to get a more personal letter. Vacant, every 10 days, 12 letters. And then non-responsive, I'm changing this for the first 6 months. They get on the non-responsive list every 30 days, and then it goes to 60, and then it goes to 90. So it's a 5-year plan for non-responsive. When you think about your letters, I think about it like a drip campaign, like emails.
Yeah.
So I just constantly want to stay in touch until they tell me either I found out the house is sold or they call me and tell me to remove them from the list, the mail list.
Now,
And that
one
happens.
person, Gabrielle has raised her hand, David. Gabrielle, what do you got, girl?
Yes, I'm just wondering, and I'm sorry if you've already covered this, what CRM you are using.
It's Sierra Interactive. But it's really, I mean, there's so many that nowadays that you're just capturing their information so that you could follow up with them. So don't overthink it. If you're going to buy a CRM, it's quite the investment. You're going to have retargeting tied into that. You're going to have automations. You're going to have, so try not to, you could run your business initially off of Excel, Google Sheets.
Right.
True.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else have any questions, comments for David or myself, Laura?
Did y'all understand the intervals I was talking about?
Donald, raised his hand. What's up?
Yeah, my question was, what is your lead to deal ratio or letter to deal ratio?
Oh, with probate, it's really low. It's last week was better than the previous 2 months. I actually got 6 listings signed last week, and I got 2 already signed this week. So in the last 2 weeks, we've got 9 deals that are going on the market. I'm figuring out title issues, and they're working with me. So it's
out of how many leads though?
Oh gosh, man, I get all the data we prospect. So it's not just leads. Probate data is just, we just never drop somebody unless we take them off. So I don't consider somebody a lead until they call me. So I guess in my pipeline, I have 48 people that I'm following up with. 47, somebody told me they sold. And then I have 8 under contract, 2 properties listed right now. So yeah, I don't track it like that, like a regular lead source, I guess. It's just a matter of activity. It's just constantly, it's a flow.
Royal, if you have a question, unmute yourself or ask away, bud.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Wonderful. I can't figure out how to raise my hand. But anyways, thank you, David, for this. Appreciate it. If you're getting 1,000 a month, roughly, let's say, it sounds like you're scrubbing the list a bit. I'm just curious what you bring that 1,000 down to.
It's random as they either sell the property or say they're not going to get rid of the property or they just ignore you altogether. My biggest flip that I got was $94,000 off one probate, and it was 5 years on the list. So that just told me that I just never eliminate anybody from my list.
So you're not really scrubbing it much at all.
Yeah.
You're going straight to mailing 1,000 each people, 1,000, and then that's.
Well, not technically, because I'm not sitting to the same address for 90 days after the probate date. And then it goes to non-responsive for every 60 days. So I'm really aggressive on the vacant mailers that come back and the PRs out of area. Because most of your local PRs, they're going to know somebody. So the competition, they're gonna be there locally to deal with it. Either the PR out of area, I call it, they're just out of my zip codes. So 7675. Local or 7675 according to the sheet. If my zip codes are 76 and then the 3 numbers. So 75, Dallas is 75102 or whatever.
So the ones that are out of area, you seem to have the most success with?
All the success with. Yeah. I can't figure out how to get the same address people to call me. I've had
knock on the door. That'd be like the only way.
No, I mean they lost somebody in the
Yeah,
house.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I am kidding with that.
But it's no, just y'all need to know that because if you end up calling one of them and you don't organize your leads, you're going to get the most aggressive, mean phone call from that same address call.
Interesting.
So you got to be super careful. The PRs out of area, they love you. They want to talk to you if you get a hold of them. So call them 5-6 times in a week. Get a hold of them. Don't wait.
All right, Luis, you have
Don't
a
be
question as
uncomfortable.
well, my friend. How can we help you, bud?
Yes, sir. How are you, David?
Good, man. Louis.
Good. Yeah, so I'm doing most of like my whole process is basically like calling. I'm trying to do more letters, so I'm glad I got on this call.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of the conversations I'm having with either the PR or the family member that's living in that property, or maybe even an out of state, I'll notice that they'll tell me that they'll keep the property. So what do you recommend in that situation? Do you recommend that I at least get their email and set them up like in my CRM, send them like the home valuations and stuff like that? Or
That's what I was just going to touch on because the letters I get home valuation leads from the same address people. I just don't ever convert them. So I'm working on that. So yeah, you want to put them into a touch that we know just from historical data that it's 18 months until they start thinking about selling the house. So if you get a list of, most 50% of your data is going to be same address people on probate. So there's got to be some way to convert those. I just haven't figure it out yet. I've had out of let's just say I have 10,000 data points or contacts, 5,000 are same address. I've had 400 people, 402 sign up on home valuations in the last 12 months. So maybe in 18 months from now, it's going to be a different story. Maybe I'm start converting those.
So you think I should at least still get their email instead of like
Yes.
trashing them in my dialer? Because right now I use Mojo. And
Yeah.
what I'm doing is I think that this is where I'm dropping the ball is I just trash them when they tell me like don't ever call them again or they're keeping the property. Like just still throw them in the CRM, still like shoot them like a market report.
It just depends on your conversation. I never say look up the house, but in probate I look it up while I'm on the phone with them. If it looks distressed or looks old, keep it. If it's a brand new house, new construction built 2010 and above, they probably will stay there and keep it unless they just traditionally sell the house. So build your list. I tag every one of those as distressed properties if they look distressed. I don't know if they've been remodeled in the last 3 years or 2 years that Google went by, but at least gives me a different list to prospect from if I'm bored to call through those again in a year from now or
So you
if the title hasn't
you got
switched.
a pipeline still going there, David, pretty much.
Yeah. And you want to, I was going to explain to you, it's like that show, that Gold Rush show on Discovery. They go through all that mud and rock to find the little nuggets of ounces of gold. That's just exactly what probate is. You could go through tons of these leads and you'll come across a few nuggets.
Yeah.
But they're the best people to work with. The margins are the best. You just got to have a complete system and keeping, as you're calling through them, if you have good rapport in a conversation, you just got to imagine a lot of people are calling them. So they're going to be angry one day and then another day they may be your best friend.
All right, Nora has raised her hand again. Nora, what you got?
Okay, another question. What if they don't tell you if the house is vacant or not
What do you mean? Like,
when you're calling?
you know, the only way we know it's vacant is because we're getting the mail back saying it's VAC on it or not delivered. So we get probably 30 back a day like that. So I just mark it in my Excel sheet that either it's vacant or non-deliverable. So then I discontinue sending to that descendant property.
And then one more question.
No, you're
I'm
fine, Nora.
just wondering if like if you guys do like making calls so we can hear like how the conversation goes and just to hear how you deal with these probate leads when you're calling.
Well, I love that question, but you're going to have a different conversation with every single one of these probate people.
And you don't want to, I'm sorry, David. I mean, and I own a call center, so I would answer this question as well, is if you want people to make calls, we can help you. But a recording of a conversation, they're not giving permission, right? You wouldn't want to share that conversation with the world, per se. That's just privacy. I mean, that's just my take on sharing to the masses a phone call.
But you're going to have to fall forward. You're going to have to make these calls.
You're just going to have to jump in feet first.
Yeah, and you're going to learn as you go, and it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk to everybody. You're going to leave some voicemails. You're going to, some people like text message if there's a mobile number, and I feel giddy that day. It's just, yesterday everybody I was in my prime list for follow-up, I sent them that video. And one person said, "Hey, we sold the house. I thought I told you." Very mean, but I didn't know that. But I think 11 of them said, "David, you're the best. I'm glad you're helping people. I can't wait till we get our confirmation and we're going to use you." So just matter of that.
All right. Anybody else? I mean, we're here.
You just got to become their favorite. I want to end that. Read that book by that guy that Split the Difference. The best book you can read is just become someone's favorite choice.
What's the book called, David?
What is it? People help me out.
Is that Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss?
Yeah, Chris Voss and another guy wrote a book called
Never Split
Be
the
the Favorite
Difference.
Choice or Favorite Over the Fool or something like that. I can't remember the title, but it's the best book to read and the videos they put on YouTube. Because you'll understand as an investor going in, are you, and I hate to use the word fool, my buddy didn't talk to me for like a year because I told him he's a fool. But you're either the fool or the favorite. If you're going in to qualify what their favorite choices have already told them, you're the fool because you're going in not qualifying that person on the phone or qualifying that appointment. And if they already have a favorite, I always ask now, do you already have a favorite choice? And then they say, no, we don't have, you're my favorite choice. You're the only one I'm calling. It works.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Favorite, what is it? It's bugging me. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Dave, you got to find that book, my friend.
I got a question. I got a couple questions, Dave.
Yes, go ahead. I'm gonna look for this book real quick.
All
Go
right.
ahead. I'm listening.
One is, did you stop your Marine training?
No, never.
Hey, I miss Chad Corbett, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's on to other things. So when you send out your letters, are you sending them out to try to target for flip or as a real estate agent or either one? And what do you tend to find that you get more deals as to flip it, or do you get much as a real estate agent?
Is this Chip in Florida? Are you in Florida?
You got it.
You're already in my pivot agent. So yeah.
Yeah.
We just make an offer to them. We say we'll guarantee an offer. That's all. We guarantee an offer. I just want the phone call inbound. I don't want to be too specific about the offer because I don't know what the house looks like. I don't know what they need. Thank you. I just want the offer. I want the offer, the phone call, and then I can figure out.
cannot accept any messages at this time.
Yeah,
Somebody
I found that you know, I have a website, a carrot site that has, you know, my real estate with Remax and all that, and I get about 2% response rate with direct mail.
It's
But
very low. It's very low. It's worth it though.
but I find that nobody calls me to list their house. It's always, you know, make me an offer. I wanna, you know, it's.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to sell your when you're on the appointment. You got to sell. If you get them to say no to your offer, which you want to make a low offer on the house regardless, so you get their bottom line. Not to take advantage of them, but you just want to know where they're at.
Right.
And if that no is a no 3 times in a row, go for the listing appointment. Go for the listing and bring the comps and get a listing signed.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Because if you get a if you the house is $100,000, if you make an offer of 50, they have an offer. If you say I'll give you $51,000, 500, they're going to say no. I got an offer 65, 700. You know their bottom number. Then can you make an offer at 68? No, you can't. But then you can move into a listing appointment and say, look, I could guarantee you, since based on these comps, you're going to be about 70% on the list. I could sell your house for $90,000 with about one more week of 21 days instead of 14 days, and then get them to sign, and don't leave that house until you get that listing signed.
Okay. Okay.
Chip, I'm sorry about your father, man. I saw that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He had a good life. 84, and he played golf the last 29 years. So
There you go. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Golf every day when you're retired. It's like,
I think Chip did you work probate for him, your dad?
No. His wife is stubborn, to put it that way.
Okay, good deal.
I was going to
call me, man. I haven't heard from you in a while. Let's have a private. Yeah,
absolutely.
This is a great world to be in. I'm completely encased in it. The PRs, the attorneys, the activities, the online videos, the retargeting. It just slowly build it every day. Think about one thing you can do every day, and you will be successful if you. But it does start with getting a good data source.
Which this company. Thank you for saying that, David.
Yeah,
we are classified. I always classify this company as the premier source in the country when it comes to this niche. Right? We get data right from the courts. We help many of the listing agent, investors, wholesalers alike. Right? Our data is I'll compare with anybody's data that's out there. I really can and would. And we get it monthly, right, to our customers. And Larry is asking if you found that book.
No, but look up Chris Voss on Amazon.
Chris
I guess
Voss.
I used to have 2 copies. I gave it away most likely.
I'll just look. Well, everybody look up Chris Voss on Amazon. Find his books. And what do you think the title is, David? Just based upon
Favorite and the Fool. Favorite or Fool, but it's a quick read. It's like I actually, when my son was having breathing issues, I read it in the ER, all places.
Wow.
Within like the 4 hours we were there. I know that sounds weird, but he was just mom was taking care of the baby.
It draw you closer to him and helped him through a hard spot. That helps, man.
Yeah.
Never split the difference. Book is one that I know of. Somebody said.
That's one of them, but Chris Boston, another agent, wrote something about a favorite and a fool. But it's for our world, it's perfect. It's probably the best book out of not running a business, but running why you don't need to go on an appointment or why you need to go on that appointment.
All right, guys, I'm going to put my calendar link in the chat one more time. I've had people putting this also on my calendar. Thank you very much. At the end of the day, we want to be able to help as many people in this community as we can, get the highest quality data that's out there. Thank David Pannell. You are wonderful,
fantastic.
Friend. This has been
fantastic.
A great presentation. What a way to kick off the webinar series, guys.
Yeah.
And then the next one we will be having is going to be probably at the end of June. I'm going to get together John Scipio. I'm not sure if you're still on here, my friend, but he will be the next up in my series. He will bring a wealth of knowledge. comparable to David. I think you two seem to hit it off, David. You and John Scipione, and you guys could be talking some shop.
Yeah, he's right in line with what we're doing. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys line up for sure. I just put my my calendar link on the chat again. Again, gracious thank you, David. Hats off, my friend. I'll be talking to you offline. I want to talk about your letter CRM Excel that you're wanting to raise money for.
Yeah.
Let's you and I talk offline and see if there's anything.
We don't need a lot of people. I don't want to have the
Yeah.
programmer guy having to work with people that are not doing mail or doing a high
Right. I know
level.
you want somebody like the gentleman saying he's doing 10,000 or 2,000 a month. You know, you want those
But
kind of a caliber.
as we get it where we could tie it into what y'all are doing,
Yeah.
we can make we'll come up with a really cheap subscription model
There
where
you
you
go.
like where you're doing skip tracing. I'll even sell it to US Probate eventually. Just kidding. But it's something where you just want to upload your data and then have it already in a way that you already know how to prospect it.
It's needed, that's for sure.
All right. Again, my
Good stuff.
specials, the webinar special is you subscribe to a county, you prepay it in the future, you get 2 months free to start the
Nice.
relationship. And I've got anything historical in the database as well as a webinar special. This special goes away in a week. Well, actually, June the 7th will be the last day to take advantage of my buy 1 month, get 2 months of free on my special, and my 50-cent special goes away as well. So
Your sales pitch, Jeff, should be you get a free house, 50% off if you just buy the data.
Okay, let's go with that, David.
Yeah. Buy the data. I mean, it's well worth it. The 2 months
right.
doesn't matter. You got to be accountable to something. So be
Yeah.
accountable to your bank account.
All right. So you mentioned ebook. No, that was a book that not an ebook. You didn't mention ebook, did you, David?
I got a coaching thing that I wrote during COVID, but I've been writing a letter thing called Precision. So I could share it with you if you it's not complete.
Anything
So
that can be shared with
don't
the
beat me up
community
on
in the
grammar.
future,
Don't
we'd
beat me up on
appreciate it.
grammar or corrections.
Cool.
I'm just writing
All
it.
right. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
David. You have been a
Take care.
wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Hats off to you, my friend. And we'll be talking more. Everybody
All right.
have a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah.
Great week and rest of the weekend. Great weekend. And put yourselves on my calendar. Everybody have a good one.
Take care.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.